Jeff Branson,
Oh,
welcome.
that's right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for agreeing to sit down and chat with me for a bit. We were talking a little bit before this. It's been about 20 years almost kind of around since we talked to
Yeah,
each other
it's been
last.
about 20
So
years. I know. Time flies, right?
where does it go? Because I don't know.
Uh, Lots of places I've learned. You kind of like every like big new thing you take into your life, it's like a
hmm
chapter, right?
hmm
Um, I've had a child since then. I've had
Oh,
businesses, contracting, building, all kinds of things. But yeah, everything becomes like its own little chapter in your life. Time flies. It's good to see you.
it is great to see you too. You're looking great. So I wouldn't expect any less from you. So
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
definitely. Well, I mean, let's just jump into it.
Yeah.
You have made your return to soaps finally on the audio soap Haven Falls. Tell me about how that came about, how you kind of felt like maybe you wanted to get back into soaps. What's going on?
In a word, like serendipity,
Mhm,
I was with another team of people, my reps, so like your agent, your manager,
mhm,
your whole behind the scenes team. And I kept telling them, I have a kiddo now.
yeah.
I have my wife, my son, my mother lives in my back house. We have like a really something that is very dear to me. Like we have family. We
Mhm,
have
mhm,
we have a little compound of all the people I love together, and excuse me, traveling just wasn't as fun as it used to be.
mhm,
Wasn't as sexy, loading up my suitcase and going somewhere for a weekend or a week-long shoot or this or that. Obviously, the hope's always for me to like find a character that I can play long format. I like
mhm,
telling a longer story.
mhm,
Um, I had myself out there for a long time. I've been really fortunate. I've had lots of wonderful, wonderful stories I've told. I've had lots of fun. I have been all over the place, but I wanted to stay home more.
yeah.
And you know how it is when you put something out into the universe,
Mhm,
it has a way of like reverbing its way back to you.
mhm,
And I was telling my old team that, hey, why have we never talked with or talked about or gone down and revisited the soap road?
mhm,
It's my roots.
yeah.
I have tons of love for soap. I have tons of respect for soap. Um, it made me the actor that I am, or whatever
Mhm,
that means to anybody. It gave me the chance, that repetition, that chance to get up and go every day, the chance to get up and fall on your face the day before and get up and do it again tomorrow.
mhm.
It gave me that opportunity. It gave me a lot of the accolades I have in my life. So when I had this conversation with them, I found out that they had zero interest of me going back into soaps, and that it was actually it got a little toxic.
Mm,
There had been people that reached out through the years. There had been conversations that were had, and they weren't handled well.
mhm,
And it's one of those moments for an actor in his career. When you have a kiddo and a family and you get busy in that part of life, I should say, trusted that that part of my life was taken care of, the business
right.
part. I got people for that, and they're doing a good job and they're out there
Mhm,
doing the thing, and they're having the conversations, and my dreams, my wishes, my hopes, my passion is being conveyed
mhm,
to, who's ever calling. That wasn't the case. It
mm.
was their passions, their dreams, their hopes that were being conveyed, not mine.
Wow.
And so I, I fired everybody.
Good.
Yeah, everybody. And it was scary because, I'm not getting any younger. This industry goes up and down,
Mhm,
up
mhm,
and up and up and down, 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 and it's hard to keep up sometimes.
mhm,
So at a certain point in your career, like the last thing you want to feel, I think, as an actor is unseen, like
yeah.
unprotected,
Mhm,
uncovered, you know?
mhm,
You want to have people that are repping you. You want to know that like chapter of your life, or that I should say that section of your life is taken care of.
mhm,
And then I found myself like solo. Um,
mhm.
um, Scary, you know,
Yeah.
scary as an actor, to not have a place that you're calling home at the moment, but you're out there looking for a new team. But
Hmm.
again, it was all meant to be. I ended up getting with the people that currently rep me, and I could not be happier. We could not be a better fit. It was one of those stories where I had to take a few steps back to be able to
Hmm.
take like 10 steps forward, you know?
Hmm.
So I put it out in the universe. I said, listen, let's mend some bridges. Let's have some conversations. I think that there's been a story about me that's not my story that's been put out there to
Hmm.
all these people. And I mean, it's been a minute since I've been in soaps or been around soap, so the whole playing field has changed, and now this person that was running this show's over at this show, and
So
everybody,
many.
it's like musical chairs sometimes.
Hmm.
It's like they hop all around. But I said, there's a lot of people I still know that are in this industry. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people I love in this industry. My heart is always in daytime,
Hmm.
really. It's some of my first memories with my mother going back to when, like,
Oh.
you did not touch the VHS
At
at
all.
no, no, you would
Mm-mm.
find yourself in some deep, what. And she was an ABC gal, right? She
Hmm.
was everything ABC did. So I have a lot of my first memories of like thinking about character, thinking about story,
Yeah.
and that how outlandish the story was. How would you play that story? Kind of like ideas were from soaps.
Hmm.
So I told these my new reps, whom I'm completely head over heels with right now, and I said, "Hey, I'm not one to ever assume." I said, "I don't know what doors are open and what doors
Hmm.
are closed. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know what I don't know." I said, "But I'd like to know. So let's put it out there. Let's talk to some people. Let's have the conversation if we can."
Hmm.
So we have been, and right as we did that, Casey Hutchinson reached out. He got my number through a friend.
Hmm.
He made a very bold move and straight out texted me and said, "Hey, I have been thinking about you for this role. I would love to see you play this role.
Hmm.
It's a big ask, and he was just so filled with passion and humble, and it felt right. And then when I read the character, I liked Lucas a lot.
Hmm.
I always find myself playing like the bad guy, the misunderstood guy,
Right.
the veteran that has PTSD, the
Hmm.
somebody that's got I think a good amount of emotional baggage that they're bringing with them from their last chapter of life, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And this guy was more of an empathetic kind of glue to the fabric of Haven Falls.
Hmm.
And I realized I was like, wow, I've never gotten to actually play somebody that led with empathy,
Hmm.
that really led with mending bridges.
Right.
Um, no, we're gonna rise above this. We're gonna see through this. We're gonna see, we're not gonna get caught down mired down in the small stuff. We're gonna rise above it.
Hmm.
And I read it. I fell in love with it. I told Casey I'd be honored to be a part of it. He was he's wonderful. Casey's
Hmm. Yes.
and he was very happy. And he said, I took a chance of putting it out there. And I said, I do believe that things happen when you ask for them.
Hmm.
I think that you're not going till you put it out in the universe, it's not going to come back around to you.
Yeah.
And I said, I told him, I said, this is for me a door that I want reopened.
Hmm.
This is a place I would like to be again. And you're giving me that first step, that first kind of like roll back into the
Hmm.
industry. And I told him, I said, I'm honored. I'd be honored to do it. And we got on with it right away. And he's such a good showrunner. He's got
Hmm.
his vision together. Who he knows every character intimately. He knows who's supposed to be doing what. He knows the tone he wants. So
Hmm.
the taping process was very quick. It's romantic to me.
Yes.
It is, right? I mean, it's
Like, like
it's
Laura, Lucas, the whole, I'm like, oh my gosh, like
oh
this is
yeah,
it.
without a
Yes.
doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. And I don't want to say I always played like the bad boy, but
Your characters have they tend to be gray. Like if they're not all the
yeah,
way dark in daytime, they're kind of more gray. I
both
think
said,
if
both
we're
said,
talking about
yeah,
romances, like
yeah,
daytime romance, like Shane and Dinah had a good one on Guiding Light, I
I love
thought.
them. Yeah,
Yeah. And then Phyllis and Ronan on Young and the Restless.
Phyllis and Ronan were great.
Hmm.
Yeah, those two for me were really. I mean, but I was just, I was. Casey brought up that he'd been speaking with Elizabeth Hendrickson, right?
Yeah.
And who's one of my oldest, dearest friends in this
Hmm.
industry. And then I even go back to the time when I was breaking up Eden and Elizabeth on all my children.
Yes.
And I've gotten to have some really good, strong, deep, powerful daytime relationships.
Hmm.
And this is one of them, for lots of reasons. The fact of who they are, the fact of how they are, the fact of the Romeo and Juliet story that they are a part of.
Hmm.
Um, the fact that he's got a very commanding, demanding, possessive type father figure, one of those fathers that's just like, no, you're going to carry on the family name.
Yes.
What you're going to do. Let me tell you what your life is going to look like. It's going to be like this.
Hmm.
And the fact that he's rising above that and fighting for what he believes is right, I was like, wow, I don't know if I've ever done this guy before.
Hmm.
So find myself in Haven Falls, and I told Casey, I said, my door is open, and I'm making a commitment to you. But if
Hmm.
anyone comes knocking, I'm going to do both, and that's how we're going to roll. And he said, I love it. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. And kudos to you for having the courage to just get rid of your old team when, you didn't really align with them anymore and finding going after really what you want because at some point you have to do that in life. And then that's awesome that you chose to do that. So,
I'll be
yeah.
honest about it. Like I have been with you so far. I was scared. I
Mm-hmm.
come from a generation you know, of actors before this current generation.
Right,
And
right.
when I was coming up, I came up on Broadway. I came up in theater. I came up with old, old, old school actors that were like the directors I used to work with were do it
Hmm.
because I told you to.
Oh,
Do it
yeah.
because I said so.
Very old school. Yeah. No questions, nothing like that. Just do it.
Don't give a
Yeah.
shit how you fill it in.
Hmm.
What you're going to do, go figure it out.
Hmm.
And you're lucky to be here.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing. Like, you hear that enough on Broadway and you hear that enough in your classes with your gurus and your reps and all the people that you're meeting when you're a young actor coming up when I was, you
Hmm.
had it ingrained in your head that shit, I'm lucky to be at the table.
Hmm.
I'm lucky to be here. So I didn't really speak up for myself. I found enough,
Hmm.
and then it leaves you with this kind of this feeling that don't rock the boat.
Yeah.
You've got good reps, but it doesn't mean if you're with a person that has a big resume, it doesn't mean
Hmm.
it's the right fit for you.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that what you love, respect, honor, and what your passions aligned with, it doesn't mean that they're aligned with that.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that. Yeah, it was a big move for me, but one that's turned out to be the right move.
Well, I feel like that's the same way too, because you have to do what feels right and what is right, and you're
Yeah.
kind of getting your toe back into the soap world, especially with Lucas. But I wanted to ask you because this is an audio soap, so we're not on camera, no video, anything like that. How is acting on an audio soap different than being on camera acting?
It was an adjustment. It was
Hmm.
it was in the beginning because you realize that the instrument is everything, right?
Hmm.
Especially like if we're doing a taping of a live show, or we're doing a taping of a studio show,
Hmm.
you're using everything. You're using
Yeah.
your eyes, you're using your height, you're using your voice, you're using your charisma, you're using whatever you got. The costume designer, you're using them, you're using
Hmm.
every ounce of resources available to you with doing it as just a talkie.
Hmm.
It's number one. It adds to the romance. I think of it.
Oh,
It adds
yeah.
the the mystique because
Hmm.
now the audience gets to paint the pictures.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
audience gets to see this how they want to see it, gets to kind of almost put their their faces if they want on these characters, which I think is really cool. And a really old timey, going back to when these were actually soap operas, right?
Yes, it started on radio, so this is kind of the origins of the genre.
We did it. I was lucky enough to be on Guiding Light before it wrapped up, and
Hmm. Hmm.
we when we found out the show was sadly coming to an end, we started having a lot of old castmates return, people that
Hmm.
um, had played roles previously that just wanted to come and just sit on set one more time.
Yeah.
And some of these they went back generations, right? And they were
Yeah.
talking about like, no, I wasn't there for the soapbox days, but
Hmm.
da 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 was that I worked with, and here's what they said.
Hmm.
And for me, when Casey pitched this to me, I was like, I'll be honest. In the beginning, I was like, oh shit, I don't know, I don't know what to. Okay.
You're like, maybe, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, okay, so just the voice, and like, I'm like, he's like, no, we're doing Zoom, and I was like,
Hmm.
great, so we're gonna have, you know,
Faces, yeah.
we're gonna
Hmm.
have this, and he goes, well, no, we're not. We're gonna have your voice. We're
Wow.
taping the audio on Zoom, and that's how we're gathering it. But no, there's nothing but your voice. So I think my first day was cold. It was flat.
Hmm.
I was I was timid,
Hmm. Hmm.
And then I got off the phone. We got off the Zoom, and I called him a few hours later, I think it was, or emailed him, and I just said, I can be better.
Hmm.
I need to lean into this a little bit more
Hmm.
and realize what makes it work more. So we retaped two episodes that I'd already taped, and he was like, yeah, now he goes, now you're getting it.
Now we
And
cooking.
yeah, now we're cooking. And, it's an adjustment, but it's
Hmm.
also one that, he's a great director as well, and I kept
Yeah.
throwing it at him. I said, please, 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 if I'm not in the same show that everyone else is in, let me know. So I can get in the right lane. I want the tone to be right. This project has a tonal quality to it, without a doubt. And and you adjust. You're kind of working with yourself in your own little box, right?
Right.
So you're not, when you're doing the big wedding scene, you're not talking to a group of people. So
Hmm.
there's adjustments, there's this and that. I've been doing a lot of dubbing and voiceover work lately, so I already came into it with some ideas.
Hmm.
So the adjustment's been interesting. I had to go back and retake some stuff, but it's working out.
But that's awesome. You get into the field of things. Anytime when something's new, there's going to be a learning period. So, but it's good that you knew enough to be like, you know what? Let me go back. I could do this better. So that is just awesome. I love
Yeah,
that.
I told him, I said, please don't ever hesitate to give me notes. Don't,
Hmm.
I'm not above it. I'm here. It almost feels like an ensemble rehearsal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I feel like there's a stagey kind of quality to it a little bit. He's
Hmm.
reading all of the stage direction as we go, and I love that. And it took me back to some stage days. So I told him, I said, whatever you need, just let's get me up to speed. This isn't his first rodeo
Yeah.
doing taping like or audio taping. I said, whatever, if I'm not where you need me, please don't hesitate to have the
Hmm.
conversation with me.
Hmm.
So we formed a really good relationship right away.
That's great. I love that. And we're kind of been talking about Guiding Light, and this audio so reunites you with your former Guiding Light co-star, Frank DeCopoulos, who is playing your father. Tell me about that. Did y'all have a fun little reunion
That
and
was a
just
big
get back
selling
into
point for
things?
me. I got to be
Yeah.
honest, because Frank and I got to work together some on Guiding Light, but we didn't. It
Right.
was always that kind of contentious crossing paths, right?
It's the
You
Lewis and the Coopers and the,
He'd be
yeah.
coming in being like, "What the hell did you do?" And I'd be like, "Didn't do nothing," and then I'm out the door. And we didn't get a lot of. We talked about this before out in PPAC when we were
Hmm.
shooting at the house out there. We were sitting there one day, right before lunch, I remember, and we're up in one of the bedrooms, a larger one where everyone would just, like a green room almost.
Yeah.
And we were talking. He was like, I'd like to work with you more.
Yeah.
I wish we got to do this more.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, and I reminded him about that the first day that we were doing our scenes.
Hmm.
It was like he's been nothing but warm. He's lovely. He is an ace. He is an ace. He's got great energy.
Yeah.
He's that guy that doesn't matter how many years he's been in, doesn't matter where he's been, he still loves it.
Hmm.
Loves it. He loves it. He's
Hmm.
got no attitude about it. He's got no pretense about it. He's happy to be there. And I love that. You know,
Yeah.
I love it when we're there for the right reasons.
Absolutely. And like you say, Frank is one who has been in the game a very long time. So
Yeah.
anytime you can do that, and especially, y'all have histories together, it's gonna be a great time. So I love that.
Yeah, he came at me pretty good right away too. He came at me pretty good. I enjoyed it. I was like, all right, Dad. All right.
Hmm. Gotta keep you on your toes now. Come
I
on.
see you. I hear you. I got you.
Awesome.
Good.
Well, what do you think fans can expect coming up on Haven Falls? I know y'all are somewhere around, I think, midway through the season, so just kind of give them a little tease.
What can I say that is okay? I will tease
Okay.
that season two is looking pretty hot.
All
Pretty hot.
right.
It is. It's some really great classic traditional, but I don't want to say traditional in a boring way, but like
Mm-hmm.
really good family story, which I think is what makes soaps so strong.
Yeah.
It's that thing of like, oh, in some way, I'm living this in my life with my family. It's relatable. I'm tired of my dad telling me what to do. I'm tired of my dad assuming for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a grown man and I'm still getting talked at this way. So there's this pushback that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And, at some point, no matter if you want to be a referee to the in your own life, at some point, something will push you to choose a side,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we're going to maybe see some of that.
Okay.
And with the rest of season one, um, just know that Lucas is the real deal.
Okay.
He fights the good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm happy to play somebody you can take them at face value.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no mustache twirling behind the scenes.
There's no crazy hidden secret or any of those things.
No, he's
So,
one of those characters that has to deal with the things that are coming at him, not creating the things that are
mm-hmm.
to deal with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's been fun for me.
Yeah.
So just take you got to keep taking the ride. You got to keep taking the ride. I think Casey set it up really well. We're in these tight little episodes,
Mm-hmm.
you know. A lot of people can digest them quickly on a car ride, on a train ride,
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the beach for a minute, wherever you are, sitting by the pool, you can knock them out real fast. And I think that's also going to fit how people are taking in their media right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see the drama of good versus evil
Okay.
playing out, right? But
Yeah.
what's interesting about evil is everybody that's doing things we don't like, they think they're doing it for the right reason. They
Mm-hmm.
feel justified. And I think that there's a good justification in this from both sides.
I mean, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right?
It is
So
indeed. Yes,
makes
yes.
sense. All
Well,
right. Well, I can't wait to see the rest of the drama on Haven Falls or what happens. But because this is Daytime Confidential and you have a nice long history in daytime, we got to hit the Wayback Machine. So in 2004, you joined All My Children.
man, way back.
Yeah, I do. I told you we're going way back. Okay.
Good. All
Uh,
right.
you joined All My Children as Jonathan Lavery, who is Ryan Lavery's little brother. Ryan Lavery is played by Cameron Matheson, of course. Tell me about your time on All My Children.
One of the best times of my life. Um, a lot of the soap times actually have been like some of the better, uh, more fun, more detailed, more in-depth storytelling I've gotten to do. So
Mm-hmm.
I was scared to death. I was scared to death. Josh Duhamel was going off. There was a
Mm-hmm.
few of us coming on to try to take on the weight of like that hole, the cavity of him leaving the show, right?
Right.
And like no pressure, right?
Of
No,
course not.
yeah, no. So then to come on and know I'm playing Cameron's brother, I was like, oh goodness, what have I gotten myself into? I was used to theater. I was getting
Hmm.
always getting a lot of rehearsal time. I knew everyone's lines by the time I was going up with the other things I was doing. I knew
Hmm.
everything cold. The set could fall in around me and I knew what was going on,
You're like,
right?
I got it.
I
Hmm.
got it. I got it. I got you. I got us. I got the scene.
Hmm.
And daytime is like, oh my goodness, grab onto your pants with both hands and just ride the wave, you know?
Hmm.
And I was so, I'll never forget the first day in my entire life. I'll never forget it. I was scared,
Tell me about it. What happened the first day
scared,
on my
yeah,
children's set?
scared to death, and had a monologue. Come into, I forget the name of the business, but it was the one that Kindle ran, right?
Uh-huh. Hmm.
The fashion business, I think it was. And she's in there with the girls. Rebecca Budig was in there. Alicia's in there, obviously. I think maybe Lizzie was in there too.
Hmm.
And they're doing their thing, keeping business running.
Hmm.
And I come in looking for Ryan Lavery.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think they had Cameron and Alicia paired up, I think.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was. So Alicia's character is supposed to walk up and go, "Excuse me, you're looking for who? No, who the hell do you think you are? What are you?" And she looks at me with the cop and da 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 da. And I'm like, "No, I'm his brother." But I have this monologue, right?
Hmm.
So we are now. I'm at the last items of the day. They had me come in early. They put me through like they put me through the obstacle course, right?
Right, right.
They had me block at like 5 a.m. They didn't need me until 5 p.m. I'm sitting around
Oof.
the floors all day. You know, I'm scared to death, really.
Hmm.
And know I can do it, but it's like I didn't get any rehearsal. I haven't met this guy Cameron yet.
Hmm.
The only person I knew was Alicia Minshew, and I was
Hmm.
like, thank God I know her. She's in the scene. This is day one. This is day.
First day.
I They had a problem on set,
Oh
um,
no.
in the setup before me.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're in overtime. Like the
Mm-hmm.
whole production's in overtime. So by the time I'm walking on set, they're like, "Great, okay, 2-page monologue. Let's go. Let's knock this out so we can keep going. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, this is Jeff. He'll be playing
And let's go.
and action." And I'm like, deer in headlights,
Mhm.
scared to death. Come in, couldn't speak. Got in, hit my mark, couldn't speak. Okay,
Oh
we'll
no.
begin. It's okay, everybody. It's okay. Come in, hit my mark, start to speak, cut Alicia off. She didn't get to her spot. Okay, we'll go again. All right, we'll go again. Okay, we'll go again. It was like too many go agains, right? And
Oh.
by now I am trying to choke this monologue out of my mouth.
Hmm.
Don't even know why I'm talking. And if you're an actor and you're on tape and you don't know why you're speaking, you're in a bad way,
Right,
right?
right.
You're in trouble. You're out like in the ether somewhere, floating around, and you need something to grab onto.
Hmm.
And I am a mess.
Hmm.
And now I'm looking at the camera operators and everybody's starting to roll their eyes at me. They're looking at their watches. They're talking smack on me because
Oh
I'm like,
no.
you know what the traffic's going to be like now? Do you know what time it is? Do you know what the traffic's
Mm-mm.
going to be like? Yeah, I'm not even taking the tunnel. Now I'm just going to take the train home.
No.
Thanks, new guy. Thanks, new guy. Yeah.
Oh.
And I was dying. I was dying inside, right? So coworkers were upset. Everybody was upset. Director was done with it. And I
Hmm.
was like, all right, I'm gonna get and lose this job in a day. This is gonna be my story. This is gonna be my big daytime story, you know?
And this is me now. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it was a lot of big hitters, big players on all
Oh
my teams
yeah,
at
yeah.
that time. So then I finally get the monologue out of my mouth. It was terrible. I was terrible. I remember I watched it back and I didn't even know why I was talking.
Mm-hmm.
You knew I was lost.
Oh.
And Alicia had came down before me.
Hmm.
I was still on set, probably licking my wounds, right? She'd
Hmm.
already walked down because like her day was done and she was going home, right? She took red lipstick, went into my dressing room and said, she wrote something to the effect, "Don't sweat it.
Oh.
You've got tomorrow in this medium or something on these shows. You've got tomorrow.
Hmm. Hmm.
You'll get it then, or you'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Love you." And I left that up on my mirror for years.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that got me through. I mean, I sat down and had like a little breakdown when I got to my dressing room,
Right.
and I saw that, and that actually got me right. It got me
Hmm.
my head clear. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to be ready for day two.
Hmm.
Day two was 2 days later, right? And it was
Hmm.
a love scene with Alicia. And I was like, oh my God, and don't get me wrong, everyone thinks like, oh man, hey, yo, dude, that must be a dream. Like, yeah, all
And
right.
it's like, not so much. Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. It depends on what you're into, but when there's like 25 people watching you, poking and prodding and adjusting and tweaking
Hmm.
and I remember watching Dish walk on set and she's in a robe and she just drops trowel and goes, "I'm ready to go. You ready?" And I was like, that was
After that, I better be ready. Like,
she,
what?
she was the one I got the screen test with, right? And she
Okay.
was she was my brilliant, beautiful icebreaker for
Mm-hmm.
100 different moments of my
Mm-hmm.
4 years on that set. And I credit her with getting me the job on All My Children because I was, it's a lot of pressure screen test.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
You're meeting the other guys that you're going up and reading against. You're meeting all the players.
Right.
The players that you're working with are squeezing this in on their lunch break. So there's a lots of things going on.
And this
And
is back when you had to go in and audition, right? Like you had to go to the room, see your competition. No more self tapes. This
yeah,
is
so
old
there was
school.
already like four in-person auditions to get to the point of a screen
Wow.
test.
Okay.
So the stakes get a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. Now you're negotiating the contract. You're going,
Mm-hmm.
if you're the pick, it's a go, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she was so warm and helpful and inviting, and she knew I was flipping out,
Right.
and she knew how to help me calm down.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward that we're all of a sudden doing a love scene, and again, I'm like all of my friends, all my like male friends were like, "Yeah, man, all right, bro, yeah, that's awesome, yeah, dude, she's hot, yeah, all right." And I was like, "Yeah, all that's true, sure, yes."
Mm-hmm.
I'm freaking out,
Mm-hmm.
and we're up there, and the way she handled me again, she's like, "I'm comfortable." She goes, "And now you're going to be comfortable." She goes,
Yeah.
"Stop it, don't listen to them. Look at
Mm-hmm.
me, look
Mm-hmm.
at me. I got you." And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "That was it.
That's what you
That was
needed.
off and running." Yeah. It was a great gig. It gave me the chance to know that today's going to be rough, but I got tomorrow.
Hmm. Well, and at least you got all of your scaries and all your mess ups and everything out on the first day. So that
First
way,
week,
it didn't in first week. So that way it didn't happen, 3 years down the road or what have you. So you got it out of
I'm
your system.
telling you,
You're good to
such a
go.
heavy story with so many of the big players on the
Hmm.
campus at the time. By week two, I was already in a grind.
Yeah.
I was like, all
Yeah.
right, let's go, let's go, let's go. So it really did. Every time it's like you're walking into any new job,
Hmm.
you don't know the room yet. You don't know the tone. You don't know the personalities. You don't know the nuances. Also don't totally know what's expected of you just yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got ideas, but you don't know, no. You don't
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
And I walked on, I was like, okay, this is what's expected from me. This is what I need to expect from myself. This is what I want to do with this. Um, this is where I want to be, like and it gave me that daytime gave me that opportunity to really get more camera
Hmm.
time.
Yeah.
And before all my children, I hadn't had a bunch of camera time. I was doing a lot of stage before then.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, and you definitely got it because Jonathan, honey, he went through it. He had kidnappings and sicknesses, and he had to get his memory back. He kind of got like the classic soap character story all the way
I
through. He had
did.
some
I
good
did.
romances in there. He
I got
lived it.
soaked up. I did. I got soaked up really good. My favorite was when I two of my favorite moments is breaking up. I mean, this wasn't my favorite, but the breaking up of Eden and Lizzie's characters, right?
Boy, they was mad at you. Let me
I,
tell you.
I had to get security. They had to give
Mhm.
me security because
Wow.
you had to walk into the building on the west side and you had to walk
Hmm.
past the line for the view, right?
Yeah.
And you literally had to walk parallel to the line of the view to get into the stage door
Right.
to go up to the dressing rooms. And I had people throw shit at me. I had people throwing stuff at me. And then that was the first day after it aired, right? And I was like, okay, that's a problem.
Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
I can handle it. Day two, I had a girl, young lady, grab me and jerk my jacket almost off of me.
Oh no.
She pulled me so hard she put me on my butt,
Woo.
and it was raining that day. I remember
Hmm.
everything was wet. I had a rain jacket on, and she nearly jerked it off me. So then I was like, all right, and security came, helped me out, and
Hmm.
I stayed and talked to her for like 15 minutes. I was like, I am so. She was crying her eyes out. She
Wow.
was like, I can't believe you did that.
Hmm.
Do you know what that meant to my community, to us, to me, to my
Hmm.
my family, my partner, my life, my love? And I had that like crushing moment of like reality. I
Right.
guess not to, I don't know how else to put it, but it was like I was like, there's telling a story,
Hmm.
but then there's the impact it has on the fans who are
Hmm.
reason we're getting to tell stories, right?
Right. Right.
There's no fans, there's not going to be any story to tell.
Hmm.
And then to see what it meant to her and what I took from her. And yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't my choice to directly take it from her, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But to see the like the crater I put in her, the
Hmm.
fabric
Hmm.
of her life and identity, and to take, she was the first one to say to me, she's like, "Do you know what you just took away from TV? Something that's
Hmm.
done, and you took that away."
Right.
And I went up and I sat down with Lizzie, and I had a big day that day,
Hmm.
really big day. It was
Hmm.
like, Jonathan went from breaking him up to abusing Lizzie's character.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. This is so
Right.
wild, man.
It's it helps you understand like the levity of everything going on. You're
It
an
gave
actor who's telling a story, but
it
the
gave me
way people
gratitude.
interpret it.
I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is like I get the weight of the world now. I get the
Hmm.
storyline. So then I asked, you know, Lizzie and Eden were so good with their fan base.
Yeah. Yeah.
They still, they always will be, but
Hmm.
they went above and beyond.
Hmm.
They had so many events, and it wasn't because they were just trying to bank cash and promote their celebrity. It was them doing events for their community,
Right.
for
Right.
for the
Right.
community that was loving their storyline.
Hmm.
And I went upstairs, and like Lizzie saw, I was rocked.
Yeah.
And Eden and I hadn't been that tight yet, but then Eden comes walking by, and she is one of the loveliest people, you know,
Hmm.
ever, really. And she was younger than a lot of people in the cast, but had an old soul,
Hmm. Hmm.
like could see the bigger picture.
Hmm.
And her and I used to talk about cooking all the time.
Hmm.
Like we both love to cook, so we're like, "What are you making?" And I'm like, what are you making? What are you talking about?" She's like, "Oh, and it was some crazy shit. Like she would make some gourmet, crazy Korean
Yeah.
food. And then I was like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be out. Like we're living in New York City. You're like in your early 20s. You're supposed to be
Hmm.
like, come on. She's like, no, I like making cookies. I like doing this thing. And I was like, oh, all
She's like,
right.
cookies make me happy. Yep.
Yeah. She knew that's part of being an old soul, I guess, right? When you know what
Hmm.
makes you happy and you listen to that and not everyone else.
Yeah, true.
And she came walking by and she heard me talking to Lizzie, and she stopped and she said, "Do you want to come to? Do you? I would like to start inviting you to our events."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh no,
You're like,
no,
after
no,
that, maybe
no,"
not.
because there was more things that happened that I'm sharing with you. There was things sent in the mail to me.
Wow.
Um, there were threats.
Mm-hmm.
There were several a day. And this is when you would get your fan mail in big lumps, right?
Hmm.
All handwritten. No email, no social media, nothing
Right.
like that.
Somebody
So
had to take their time and write
yeah, they
this to
had to
you.
take their
Yeah.
time, and you had to take your time and go through it and read.
Hmm.
And I'm reading stuff like, I mean, like I'm reading stuff like, I hope you die. You should burn in hell.
My gosh.
You are a pig like the rest of them. And people that had so much invested into that storyline
Hmm.
that I did not realize at that moment. I mean,
Hmm.
I got tuned into it right away, but when it was all happening, when you're like 4 to 6 weeks up on the
Right. Yeah.
taping something, and you're just going because you're an actor and you're excited,
Hmm.
and you don't realize the weight of it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started getting this fan mail, so things were really getting on top of me. I had security walking me through the studio. I had to come in a back door. They started censoring my fan mail
Oh my
because they knew
gosh.
it was getting on top of me. It was like it was I was carrying,
Yeah.
right? They started censoring my fan mail. They started being more specific about the publicity I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything got tweaked and adjusted. And then that day happened with the young lady pulling me with the jacket. And I told Lizzie, I was like, I'm having a hard time.
Yeah. I was like, were you, I
I
imagine you were scared, right? Like,
I was scared, but I was kind of crushed, you know,
mm-hmm.
because I mean, I was raised by a single mama, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I, I'm one that likes to believe that chivalry is not dead, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I um saw my mother's beautiful, beautiful woman,
Mm-hmm.
brilliant and beautiful. And I watched though that her mind was never respected. It was always her beauty. I watched how men would treat her,
Mm-hmm.
objectify her. I
Mm-hmm.
watched her have to do service industry jobs where that was amplified with alcohol
Yeah.
and with the environment. I watched people grab assing her. I watched her have to deal with toxic male bullshit
Mm-hmm.
so much of her life that when Jeff is performing a scene, it's like this is what's written, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's the gig. That's what I signed up for. When that's Jeff playing Jonathan though. When you talk to
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, Jeff is like crushed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Eden's walking by, hears me talking with Lizzie, and she's like, I want you to come to these events.
Yeah.
And she goes, and we're going to do the introduction for you. We're going to change this narrative. And I mean, I had myself like almost a little cry about it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
just, I couldn't find the words to even thank her for how much it really meant to me at that moment.
Yeah.
Because if this keeps up, I'm not having fun. You know,
Mm-mm.
I'm not having fun. This isn't, Jonathan and all of his issues were fun to play, but
Mm-hmm.
I had a situation growing up where I watched abuse happen a lot and was also on the receiving end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, and to have to be abusive to a woman after you took this love story away from a community. I
Right.
was like, I was like,
You're like,
it's getting
I don't know if I
thick.
want to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting thick. And then you realize, well, you sign up for one thing, but that doesn't mean you have control, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You signed up, yeah, you're here, but it doesn't mean you get to control what exactly is going to be passed at you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wasn't carrying weight like that. I wasn't influencing story.
Yeah.
And Eden and Lizzie at that time they were doing like an event every weekend, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because that fan base was strong.
But I think they're still on it. Like even all these
Yeah,
years later,
absolutely.
like they still got it.
Oh, absolutely. They are
Mm-hmm.
still strong. They're very vocal. They're very, very smart. They're
Mm-hmm.
very active.
Mm-hmm.
They are your best friends or your
Yeah.
worst
Yeah.
nightmare, you know. And then in long story short, they had me come to some events, and the first few were almost, I mean, people booed me.
Oh,
Half of their event became about them saying, "Guys, this is
this
Jeff,
this is Jeff, and we love him. Yeah.
not Jonathan. This is Jeff."
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand that that story we had to be broken up so that other things could
Mm-hmm.
happen for us.
Mm-hmm.
If things don't happen for us, then we're stuck. And they were so lovely to take the
Yeah.
to put in the effort to try to explain Jonathan, you know, and they turned that entire fan base around to, if
Mm-hmm.
not loving me, at least tolerating me
Right. Right.
and cooling off the tension, and which all flared back up again after Jonathan became abusive. That
Well,
was a
oh
whole nother.
yeah. Yeah.
But I remember that time as being such a roller coaster ride
Mm-hmm.
of new experiences, of new beginnings, of navigating waters that I'd never been in before.
Yeah.
You but I had a lot of good people around me. Cameron was such a
Yes.
pro, and that man's energy when he comes on set, he's electric.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
everybody he showed love to everybody. Everybody respected him. Everybody would rap with him on the side when they had a second. He knew everybody's name. He was a really like a kind of a conduit to be around.
Hmm.
So I was enveloped with good people, and I
Yeah.
was fortunate for that.
Well, I mean, shout out to Eden and Elizabeth Henderson for really
Absolutely, big
just
shout out to
just
Eden
helping you out right there
family.
and getting the fans to chill out. So
The
that
one she
is wonderful. And
mentioned,
that they realized they needed to do that. I love that. That is
yeah,
awesome. So
yeah, they could have, because it would have been easy just to be like, well, we hope that gets better for you.
on your own. Yeah, yeah.
Good luck. Good luck with that. That's tough. But no, I think what also it did is because eventually Jonathan, I mean Jeff and Eden's characters ended up
Hmm.
making a connection.
Hmm.
And I think what it did was though it made all of our work from that day going forward a lot deeper, a lot more
Right.
personal, you know.
Agree.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, and eventually your time on All My Children came to an end, 2007, and the next year, 2008, you ended up on Guiding Light.
Mhm.
So tell me how Guiding Light came about, and then you played the son of the super couple, Joshua Riva, um, Robert Newman, and Kim Zimmer. Tell me about your Guiding Light time, because this is when Guiding Light, I believe, had already switched over to the new filming format, so I'm sure it was like
No,
way different than before.
no,
Oh, this was before that. Okay, okay.
we were still in the studio.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I was there like through every last transition of the show.
Yeah, because you were to the very, very end, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
to the
Hmm.
very end. They were in the studio still, and Rob Destina, who I believe is now the VP
Hmm.
of casting for CBS, I believe, is where
Hmm.
he's at right now.
Hmm.
He was a teacher when I was very young. He
Hmm.
was actually a teacher in the conservancy I went to. Um, and we were buddies back then. And then fast forward, he's the casting director at CBS and working under, I think, Jeff Block at the time.
Hmm.
And you come in, and this is before daytime for me. This is before All My Children, before everything. So he would call in his old pal Jeff that he knew from school to have to come in and read, and he was lovely. He'd be like, "Okay, listen, it's not going further for you, all right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But do you have 5 minutes? I'd like to tell you why."
Oh, that's
And
okay. Yeah.
I sat there and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I had
Hmm.
to get over my ego, right? And then I sit there and go, "Yes, please." And he starts laying it out.
Mm.
So then fast forward, All My Children happens. Then Guiding Light, I get a call from Rob and he goes, "I'm so happy you're available." And I said, "Well, I'm off a show, so I feel a little crazy right now." And he goes, "No, don't. I want you to come in for Guiding Light.
Mm.
Here's what I have. The timing." He goes, "I feel like this is meant to be.
Right.
This is a character that you are perfect for.
Hmm.
It's playing again up against. I need somebody strong. It's playing Kim Zimmer and Robert Newman, and there's this actor named Tom Pelphrey, and you're going to be playing his brother." And I already knew who Tom was.
Hmm.
Tom and I had already hung out a few times. We were buddies, and I was the am still the biggest fan of his work.
Hmm.
He is, and I'm still friends with Tom. He's a great guy. He's deep. His waters run deep. He,
Hmm.
um, the real deal,
Oh,
and
yeah.
watch his explosiveness. And he's somebody you can watch, and you're like, you're not certain what's going to happen next, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then Rob pitched me. He's like, "You'll be a part of this family," and that was enough said for me. I
Hmm.
was all in. I had no idea what was going on with the show. I had no idea how. I had no idea what the future would have in store for them.
Hmm.
Um, but by the time the changes were being made, I was already all in. I was working with Gina Tognoni. I was
Yes.
happy as could be. Um, and you saw little things getting taken away and peeled back, but the
Hmm.
character has so much going on that I
Yeah.
that I wanted to talk about, that a story that I wanted to tell.
Hmm.
I've watched my father. He went to Korea and Vietnam when he
Oh,
came
wow.
back. He was dealing with a lot, and
Hmm.
he's dealt with that a lot of his life. And
Hmm.
there was a lot of story in there that I could. And I've never served, and I don't want to speak
Hmm.
out of my lane here at all.
Hmm.
But there was I saw this in another person, and there's things I could relate to.
Yeah.
Um, it's a story I wanted to tell. Gina Tognoni is one of the strongest actors I've ever worked with.
She's incredible.
She's
There's no
incredible.
words. Yeah.
She's incredible. Everything
Hmm.
grounded. She owned every word that came out of her mouth. I've been really
Hmm.
fortunate.
Yeah.
You know that earlier with naming my love interest co-stars. I'm really, really fortunate that they could do anything they wanted with the script because they own every word coming out of their
Hmm.
mouths. They know exactly what they want to do with it. They know what's going on. They know the scene. They're up there to have fun.
Right.
They're up there like in survival mode. They're up there to have a good time and have
Hmm.
fun. And then Tom came back to the show for a little bit, and that
Yep.
was.
Towards the end, yes. Hmm.
I even loved, listen, the P-Pack New Jersey days.
Y'all went through it. I gotta say it. Like,
But, oh man, when it was like when you saw us out in the park and it was cold and snowy, it was cold
hmm.
and snowy.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
remember that I got to a point I was like, because we're wearing nice shoes and
Yeah.
we're dressed.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm like, why are we shoot? How low are we shooting? And they're like, oh, Brad, we're at your knees. Like normal. I'm like, can we just put on like some Uggs or like some like, you know,
Please, we're freezing up here.
yeah, some rain shoes or something. I was like, we're all, I'm like soaked every day.
Hmm.
And but I remember for a second you catch yourself complaining, right?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
because sometimes you take for granted these special things in your life because
Yeah.
you think they're always going to be there.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you start to take things for granted. And it's a lesson life's taught me. It took a while, but it's a lesson that life has taught me.
Right, right.
And I remember one day sitting at the park in P-PAC and Shane's sitting at the park.
Hmm.
Uh, Dinah's about to walk up
Hmm.
and there was a problem and we had to go back to one and reset. And it was freezing. It was
It was so cold.
so
Oh
cold.
man.
Oh, it was so cold. It was like I was on a bench and they would give us long underwear, right, to wear under the suit or
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
And I mean, it was one of those days where as soon as you put your butt on that bench, it went right through everything. It was
It's
like
biting, right? It's just oof.
my butt was wet and cold before I knew what was happening. And I was
Hmm.
like starting to be like, and I saw these ducks fly into this pond and land, and they're like having their lives. And it was quiet, and I saw my breath, and I looked around, and I saw through one of the viewfinders. There was a camera operator right next to me. And I saw through one of the
Hmm.
viewfinders and the texture that we were getting, right, all
Hmm.
the texture of that whole scene. And I sat there realizing, holy shit, how lucky am
Yeah.
I? Like, how
Mhm.
lucky am I? Like, I could be in the studio acting like this was
Hmm.
hot right now, acting like I'm cold right now, not
Right.
seeing my breath
Hmm. Hmm.
as I'm sitting here grumbling to myself.
Hmm.
And it gave me a lot of perspective. And from
Hmm.
that day forward, this was pretty early on. From that
Hmm.
day forward, I was like, I love it. I
All
love it.
right. Okay.
Only thing I'd have to say is the lighting got a little rough sometimes. The lighting shooting in daylight was eye opening. But because daylight's daylight.
Yeah,
It's
okay. Yes. Yeah.
and we couldn't control it sometimes. The time of
Right.
the day that we were shooting, where we were at,
Hmm.
what kind of day it was outside. We couldn't control so many different aspects. But they didn't give up. They
Hmm.
fought a good fight, and that cast got so tight.
Mm-mm.
Like we would all be in we were all in this great big farmhouse for basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Throwing the football outside during lunch. You're walking around talking to people. It happened because you're forced to do it
Hmm. Hmm.
because you have nowhere to run away to. You
Right.
can't run
Right.
away anywhere. You can't go across the street to your favorite restaurant. You can't go down the block. You can't get
Hmm.
your errands done. You don't have a car. Most people didn't drive out there.
Right.
You took the bus. Everybody was in it together to win it. And
Hmm.
it's a vibe, it's a tone that I haven't had since.
Well, I definitely think it's something that unites all of the actors and the crew, and everybody was there because that's an experience only y'all had. So,
Yeah, no, without a
absolutely.
doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And even for everybody from Kim Zimmer
Hmm.
down to whoever the newest youngin was that was coming on
Mm-hmm.
to play a aged version of a baby character.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like everybody got close in a way that I've never had with another cast.
Wow.
To the point to where when it was announced during a lunch break one day that was it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else we can do. We can't say,
Mm-hmm.
it's bleeding out. The network's not behind it anymore.
Yeah.
There's nothing else we can cut to
Mm-hmm.
make them happy. This is it, and this is the end date. I will never forget. And everybody was on set that day, like everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody. It was a group scene. They waited to tell us until it was a family reunion or it was a wedding. It was a
Okay.
wedding.
Yeah, yeah.
But everybody was there shooting that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if you had your scenes in the morning, you didn't get to go home after your scenes. You hung
Mm-hmm.
and waited for the bus to take you back into Manhattan. So either that or you got a car or
Or
this
what
was
have
before
you. Yeah.
Uber. This was before all of that. You couldn't
Mm-hmm.
just go out if you wanted to go out.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all at lunch and they dropped this on us.
Mm.
And I'll never forget that silence that I actually felt in that room.
Yeah.
It was so loaded and so thick.
Mm.
And then it started one at a time, almost like dominoes. And people started crying.
Yeah. I mm.
It was like it took us probably 2 hours over lunch to get
Mm-hmm.
ourselves back on track to be able to start shooting again. And then you would come out and people would be sitting out in the patio of the house and just it was really the kind of tone and vibe like you lost family, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a death. There was a death in the family.
Because it truly was. Guiding Light was my grandmother's favorite show. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I had
it
family
makes
members
complete
that
sense to
called
me.
me crying,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, no, 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 no.
Yeah. It's just
And
crazy.
I think, we had an interesting conversation with not too long ago. Frank and I were talking, and he was
Mm-hmm.
saying, we just missed it by a little bit. I said, what do you mean? He goes, just a little bit. We just missed it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was like, suspense is killing me here. What's up? He goes, Netflix, Hulu, uh,
Mm-hmm.
name it. Anybody that's looking for content right now. He
Yep.
goes, we would have moved somewhere. We would have
Mm-hmm.
moved. We would have hopped, and
Mm-hmm.
we would still be going to this day.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
It's crazy, right?
I never went
Like,
there in my head, right? I never went there, and I was like, wow, I think
mm-hmm.
you're absolutely right.
The
He goes, oh,
timing.
no, I'm right. He goes, it would have happened.
Yeah.
He goes, shit, we were all together. We were already a unit. We had
Mm-hmm.
a story. We had writers. We had everything on a
Mm-hmm.
platform, And he's right. I agree with him.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, well, Guiding Light, it was pretty much the OG soap. It was
Yeah.
on radio
Oh,
before
it is. It
it had
is the OG soap.
okay, it
It
had
is the
made the jump
one.
already from radio to television. So
Yeah.
naturally, television and streaming would make the most sense. We just weren't quite there yet. So
Yeah.
well, I
Yeah.
miss it. I miss Guiding Light. I miss all of it. But you had great success on Guiding Light. You won the Outstanding Supporting Actor Daytime Emmy for your role as Shane Lewis. Um, did that kind of take you by surprise? Were you just like, I don't know what's
Yes.
happening. I don't know what's going on.
Yes. I had no speech. I had no no inclination I was going to be that guy at
So
all.
you didn't have like a little something prepared or nothing. You were just like,
Nothing.
I'm going. It's
Nothing.
fine.
I,
Oh
I
no.
mean, I remember the people that were in the category that year were.
So I admit I watched it again last night. It was you, Vincent Irizarry, y'all tied. It was Jacob
Yeah,
Young.
that's right.
I think
That's
Cameron
right.
Matheson was in it. It was a good crowd
I
that year.
remember Jake Young had some really good story that year.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It was a really good story, and he did
Mm-hmm.
really good work. And I remember thinking it was Jake's year. And and again, like, I don't know if it's because of who I am or
Mm-hmm.
how I came into this industry or um I don't know why, but I don't have a lot of ego about it, really. And I
Yeah.
think, and I'm not trying to say this because I think that sometimes this is said because it makes people seem humble, but I
Mm-hmm.
had no inclination at all that it would it would be me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought there was a lot better things going on out there than what I had done that year.
Hmm.
And I don't think I'd ever been filled up with so much gratitude in my life. I was backstage with it in my hand, and all of a sudden, like, now they get you backstage and everyone's done touching you for a minute. And
Hmm.
now you have like your first second alone.
Right.
And I was like, I was trembling,
Wow.
and I was like, wow, this is good for me. I
Hmm.
mean, wow, holy shit. And John Driscoll and Tom Pelfrey came walking up and
Oh.
he hugged it out with me and he was like,
Hmm.
yeah, brother. Yeah.
Got this. Yes.
Yeah. He's like, yeah. And he was so, I mean, you want to talk about a generous co-star.
Hmm. Hmm.
That, that man's laugh is infectious.
Yes.
And he laughs from the bottom of his soul.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
means it. He means it. And he gave me, I got this picture, I got this great photo of John was a buddy. John and I had
Hmm.
hung out, but I'd never worked with him.
Hmm. Hmm.
And obviously knew Tom and we're chatting and hugging it out. Then John, we're talking with John. Somebody said, "Hey guys," and it turned and they got the picture of the three of us.
Oh, yes.
And it was like you can see the
Hmm.
electricity happening,
Right, right.
Um, no, and I have a lot of feelings about that moment.
Hmm.
When I got
Hmm.
back to my seat, there was another actor sitting next to me, and she was like, "You know what's great about that?" I said, "A lot of things." Because no, they can never take it away from you.
Yep.
They can
It's
never.
always you.
I was like, "Oh, wow." And everybody had these beautiful things to say to me all night. And
Hmm.
it's one of those moments in life when like you get the validation that the path you chose
Hmm.
was the right path.
Hmm.
And those don't come often in life.
Yeah.
You don't get that pat on the back of like, good for you. Yeah,
Right.
you're doing the right. You're walking the right,
You're doing what you are supposed to do.
going
So
the right
yes.
way. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Awesome.
it was a day I'll never forget. Without
Yeah. So you win the Emmy. Sadly, Guiding Light comes to an end. We talked about it.
yeah.
You were still in New York, but
Yes,
you made your way west to
that
Los
was
Angeles.
it. Guiding light. Going to yeah, a
Hmm.
co-star needed their car driven to California.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I was like, I heard it, and I was like, I think I want to do that. And they were like,
Hmm.
why would you want to do that? You live out here. I was like, no, I don't think I do.
I think that's done now. I
Yeah.
think we're good.
So I literally like I was like, it just came out of my mouth, right? And
Hmm.
it was winter. So
Mm.
the very next day, I no, 2 days later, we're doing like our last week of taping. In fact,
Hmm.
this was
Hmm.
the last week of taping.
Okay.
And I'm running to the bus. It's like 5:30 in the morning. It's a
Mm.
snowstorm. I can't get the bus. I mean, I can't get a cab.
Hmm.
And I was freaking out. I was really late. And I was like, I got to get to that bus right now, across.
Hmm.
And I'm panicking and I'm seeing this one cab coming down the street. I'm like, oh, all right, good,
Right,
good.
right.
This guy, and this had never happened, been in New York 20 years. All
Hmm.
right. At that point, never happened to me.
Hmm.
This cab brakes lock up in the ice and it starts kind of drifting. And
Oh.
I'm watching him drift right at me. And I'm like, oh shit. And this, and I'm like, I need to back it up here, right?
Hmm.
Right in front of me, the street dipped dramatically, and it was a sewer drain, and it was overflowed with water. Right, it
Wow.
was like a lake of water in front of me. I saw it. It's chunky ice. It was black, dirty,
Hmm.
nasty, oily dirt water. Right,
Hmm. Hmm.
cab lost total control.
Oh, wow.
I can't get away fast enough. I slip going backwards. I get myself picked back up right as he hits that curb and that puddle of ice, dirty, dirty, dirty ice water perfectly, perfectly. And here comes the cascade. And I'm looking at it coming
Oh
at me.
no.
You got to be shitting me.
Hmm.
And it went down my shirt, through me.
Oh no.
I was wrecked. I'm
Hmm.
talking like a bucket. It was like getting like a 5-gallon bucket of water
Oh
dumped on your head.
man.
And it was freezing. I had an ice chunk in my shirt. It was all mud and oil water. And I sat there and I stood there for a minute in shock. And I was like, That's it. I'm leaving New York. That's it.
This is the end. I'm not doing this no more. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, man. That was my sign. That was the universe telling me, yeah, it's time. It's
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you made your way west. You
Yep.
come Los Angeles, and the Young and the Restless, I
Yep.
guess, comes a knocking. So on the Young and the Restless, you played Ronan Malloy, who was a man of the law, but he also had a secret. He was Nina's famous black market baby from the 80s.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Tell me about your Young and the Restless experience, because from what I remember, you were on there, and then you kind of left a little bit, and then you were
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, it was supposed to be I think it was supposed to be like a 6 week,
Ah,
12 week
okay.
gig. And then it never, like, the story never got wrapped up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then like week 12, I'm getting like scripts for the next 4 weeks still at week
Hmm.
12. I was like, okay, all right. And I had gotten with some people that, as people do, they sell themselves to you to
Hmm. Hmm.
work with you. And what they were selling to me was, you can do anything. This is beneath you. And we had words about it right away. And I
Hmm.
was,
Hmm.
you know, I actually one this person that was repping me at the time was actually a dear friend. And I said, I'm not going down that road.
Yeah.
It's not beneath me.
Hmm. Hmm.
This has not only been security for me, this has been every actor wants to act.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an auditioner, I want to be an actor. I don't
Hmm.
want to be,
Hmm.
somebody that's spending my day chasing self tapes
Right.
and we're trying to work your way back into a new family of castmates to, I like consistency.
Hmm. Hmm.
I like depth. I like honesty. I like family. And so this reps idea was, okay, if you feel that way, that's fine. We won't pull you off that show. You can write it out longer, but I want you to go in for other stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
And all of a sudden, I was screen testing for CBS for primetime shows, and the if the screen test didn't happen, didn't go my way, then there was a recurring offered, like
Hmm.
a three
Hmm.
episode recurring, and then all the schedules getting juggled got to be just too much.
Yeah.
It was like I was spread so thin.
Yeah.
So as we went to Y&R and said, we need to wrap it up.
Hmm. Hmm.
Need to wrap it up. We did the do, and we haven't talked about anything contractual. We
Hmm.
haven't gone more serious. We're not going steady yet, so we need to wrap it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they did. They let that happen, and I went out and uh, did a horror film. I did
Hmm.
several fun projects, and stuck around with CBS for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've probably been on every single one of their
Hmm.
procedures
Hmm.
from the 2000s, um, and just kept having great experiences. Three episodes that never found a home though.
Yeah.
Found a home. So then um, they reached back out and they
Hmm.
said, "Hey, we want to pull off this kind of LA noir kind of like
Hmm.
episode where the whole casting is involved. It's a who done it, and we need a cop. We need the cop to anchor this storyline."
Hmm.
And the pitch was great, and the pitch was great, and it was there was a whole sections of that cast I'd never gotten to work with yet.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this reached me out to everybody. I had a great time. The story went long. We couldn't find a way to really put a button on it,
Right. Right.
I think that sometimes there's, like with anything, there's too many cooks in the kitchen sometimes.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it went a lot longer than was thought. But then
Originally intended.
I
Yes. Hmm.
originally intended, which I had no problem with. But then what happened is now this is above my pay grade, admittedly. So this is a lot of speculation.
Hmm. Hmm.
There was frustration that it wasn't wrapped up and tidied up, and then there was a total regime change,
Right. Yes. Yes.
and the new regime was not as much a fan of mine as the old one,
Hmm. Hmm.
and so I was not contracted with them yet. So the opportunity came to make some changes, and I didn't go forward.
Well,
But that was then. This is now. Yeah.
exactly. If Y&R came knocking again, would you answer? Because I think this would be a good time because right now Ronan is Nina's only baby left
Yeah.
that's alive.
You're
So
not here.
would you answer their call if
You're not here.
they
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 need some
rang?
law enforcement.
They do. There is no police in Genoa
I
City.
hear they're a
Granted,
little. Yeah,
there's
I hear they're a
usually
little short
not,
on
but
police.
this time like there's really not any police. So yeah,
I would happily talk with YNR.
I love
Absolutely.
it. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's what
Fabulous.
I was telling you from the beginning, and I'm not one to play games about it, or
Hmm.
coy. I think life's too short. If you
Yeah.
want something, say it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get
So
it.
there you go.
And I found that being honest and positive, it does a lot more for me than other choices.
Right. Right.
So for me, yeah, I would love to chat with
All
them.
right. I love it. Well, hopefully from this Zoom to the powers that be's
Yeah, from this
ears.
Zoom to the
Okay.
powers of be's ears.
Yes.
Yeah.
So last thing,
Well said.
is there anything that you want to say to your fans who've been following you since 2004, since All My Children?
I miss you.
Oh,
I miss you. And I mean that. I think a lot of my fans that know me well, I did the Marco Island event for years and got to a point where I was emceeing the event.
mm-hmm.
'Cause I'd been off show so long that I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't say I was on such and such or da da da. So I got to be more of an MC capacity, but the event was really well followed, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of the bigger, more vocal fans
Mm-hmm.
in the world of daytime would at that event, and anybody that knows me and has spent the time with me knows that I mean it.
Yeah.
And I miss the interaction with the fans. I miss
Mm-hmm.
the love of the fans, the appreciation. These are things that you don't, you don't, you can't just go somewhere else
Right.
and get this from people. These are
Mm-hmm.
things that you earned, that
Mm-hmm.
you worked for, and that I would love to see them again. I'd love for them to see my work again. I'd
Yeah.
love to be interactive again.
Well, I'm like I said, from the Zoom to the powers that be. Hopefully, we
Right?
can see you
Right?
soon on our screen somewhere. But I
That
can't
would be
wait.
great.
Yeah.
I think that everything is going to happen exactly the way it should. I don't mean to
Yes.
sound naive or
No, that's
childish
true.
by saying that,
Hmm.
but you know, if
Yeah.
Y&R needs needs some law and
You're the
that
man.
lawless shit, then I'm available to chat. But the truth is, if it's supposed to be, it's going to be.
That's true. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
knew that nothing was going to be if I didn't put myself back out there and
Hmm.
let the world know that my doors are open.
Yeah.
Um, and this is something I'm really, very grateful to Casey Hutchinson for.
Love
Is
Casey. Casey's a friend of the podcast and a friend of the website, and he's just great.
he is the dearest man. I
Hmm.
mean, another guy that when he's whatever he's saying, he means. He
Hmm.
means it. He's
Yeah.
from the heart,
Yeah.
and I told him, he's like, I can't thank you enough for this opportunity to work with you. And I
Hmm.
said, no, it's back at you. I
Yeah.
can't thank you enough for this opportunity to be working in this genre again
Hmm.
in any capacity. You know, I think that the daytime that's held on through all of these turbulent waters that
Hmm.
happened in recent years. I think that they're here to stay.
Yes.
I think that we're actually seeing new daytime shows the
Hmm.
come to media.
Hmm.
We're seeing daytime happen in different parts of media, like Casey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that you go so far the opposite direction sometimes that you forget how nice it is back at home.
Right.
And I think that we're having that moment where we're like, this is great. I can watch this stuff and I have this queued up on that platform, but I really need some of this in my life too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like being grounded. I like knowing the characters. I like having that accessibility. I like feeling like I'm part of the family. I like these people's quirks and this eccentricities and all this
Yeah.
crazy shit that's going on in their lives.
Yeah.
I like it. And I think that daytime offers something people don't get, which is the feeling of being a part of it.
Yep.
You know?
That's what it's
Not
about.
just watching it like a spectator, but actually being a part
Being,
of
yeah. It's people spend more time with these soaps than they do their own family because they come on every day. You don't
I've had
see
that
all of your
said to
family
me
every day.
so
So it's
many
important.
times. I've had that said to me so many times of like,
Mm-hmm.
because every fan's like, well, I watched twice, every episode, and they're like, so
Mm-hmm.
between the two times I watch you and then the times I'm talking about you to my friends and we're talking about what happened, I spend more time in your universe than I do really
Yep.
in my own or my family's.
Yep.
And you don't, you don't, you don't, you don't meet
Mm-mm.
fans like that. It's weird for me. I have a hard time calling them fans because it's kind of like an off-putting word that kind of leaves somebody like at arm's reach away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. I mean, they're a lot of them have become friends, and I know that that opportunity that they have to get that close, they return it with how much they honor the shows,
Yeah.
how much time they put into it, the love, the respect. And I've been in a lot of different genres now. I've been
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of different mediums. I've worked for a lot of different networks. I've been on stage. I've been doing commercials, you name it. I might have done it. And
Mm-hmm.
do not get a fan base like you do in daytime TV.
It's
A
like
friend,
nothing else.
friend base, a
It's like
friend
nothing
base.
else.
It's like
Yeah.
nothing.
True.
My
Well,
mom said that. My mom said that circa 1985, and she was right. I was like, "Why, mommy? Why are you watching this?" Because, baby, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
and Mama's got the last words because she is
Mama, oh,
absolutely correct.
she's
So,
always got the last word. Ain't
yeah.
that a
Jeff, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for
time?
just coming and chatting with me about Haven Falls and all your daytime career. This is great.
I really appreciate it. It's wonderful to see you again.